Hello everybody, I'm coming to you from the area of the San Pedro Valley known as Sacapo. We are standing next to a property which is an unfinished project, and I'll be explaining a little bit more about that later. We are about 10 minutes drive from downtown Vilcabamba. You essentially just head up the hill from Vilcabamba towards the Valley of San Pedro, take a right into the San Pedro Valley, and another 5 minutes down there you come to this property. Sacapo is probably lately one of the more desirable areas for extranjeros or foreigners to come and live, mainly because we've got a fantastic river just nearby, about 2 minutes drive from the house, called the Rio Uchima. And the water quality there is just crystal clear and outstanding. So a lot of people come up here to enjoy themselves on the weekends, and anytime you wanted to leave this property and disappear down to the river, it's just a couple of minutes away. A little bit about the property itself. The property is 1,100 square meters, which is just over a quarter of an acre. The property backs onto what we call here a winter creek, or in Spanish a quebrada, which means that the creek actually runs more or less during the rainy season, or if it's rained further up in the mountains and there's sufficient water to make this creek run, it runs. Behind me, not sure if you can see it right now, but you'll see it in one of the photos that will come into this video additionally, is just a veritable jungle. It's a lot of old growth trees, a lot of beautiful foliage, and a lot of wildlife surrounding this property. There's an incredible amount of bird life and essentially a real vibrancy in terms of the amount of wildlife and plant life that there is around this property. Hello there guys, I hope you can see me up here. With this shot we're just trying to give you an idea of just how huge this property is. So I'm standing on the stairs between the ground level entry and the first level entry, and up above, so here's the first level, here's the ground level, and up with the roof you've got the level 2 of this property. So there's a lot to show you. Come with us. I'm standing here at the main entrance to the house. I was trying to figure out how to describe this house because I wanted to call this the ground floor, but actually because of the slope of this property, as you'll see with the rest of this video, the property essentially has 2 ground floors. But a little bit about the house. The house is an unfinished project, and that project was all about the transformation of what was an old, rundown 2-story house into a 3-story house. So the project involved taking the roof off, replacing it with a brand new roof, raising the walls, and essentially creating another floor. So that the built area of this house is pretty spectacular now. It's 400 square meters, and there are many rooms on each level. I think we have a potential of about 13 to 15 rooms, depending on how you wanted to use that space. And the property has many potential uses. It could be used as an investment property, it could be used as an Airbnb, it could be used as just one of the most kick-ass houses you've ever seen. It's really going to be up to the person who takes a walk through here and has a kind of vision for what it is that they want to do with this house.
Here we are on the balcony or patio area of the first floor of the house. We've got the Winter Creek to our left-hand side there as we walk down this section towards the end of the house where the avocado tree is. And now we head into the first floor section. This is a big room to move into here. Plenty of power points. The electrical is already in. And now we move through to the section of the home that abuts the street. As you can see, this is an enormous area. high ceilings, plenty of space, plenty of light. There's a room down at the end there which we'll get to in a minute, but first we take a left in here. You can see the steel beams which will form the support for the attic level. Again, plenty of power points. The stairwell will go at the end there to gain access up to that attic level, and that doorway takes us back out to the patio area. And just to finish this first floor section, we're walking again down that street side section and having a quick look at the room at the end of this house at the avocado tree end.
So we've moved up to level 1, first floor of the house, and I just thought we'd give you another shot looking out over the creek from the back of the house again, like we did on the ground floor previously, just so that you've got some idea of how beautiful the nature is and all the old growth forest that you can see directly from the back of the house. Again, along here, you could put in windows in here, or you could actually fill it in to use this space more for habitation or storage or whatever you needed to do. As you can see behind me here, you've got the patio area extending into the distance. This patio area can actually be, like I said before, the way that this house, this project can be finished really depends on what the new owner wants to do with this property. So if you were using it as an Airbnb, for example, and you wanted to create more rooms for renting, then you could actually divide this patio up and into spaces that are going to be suitable for that. Otherwise, you could actually put in French doors or the kind of sliding glass windows so that you can actually enjoy looking straight out into the foliage and the jungle of the creek.
So here we are on the ground floor at the back side of the house with the Winter Creek just to our left. We're heading down to the end of this patio area towards where the avocado tree is. Now we're swinging into the house, into the ground floor. This is a huge room upon entry. If you look around, you'll be able to see all the power sockets everywhere. The building is already almost completely wired, and we're heading into the second room now. More power sockets, and that window that we just saw on the right abuts the street. We hang a left now into another very large room. Again, you'll see all the power sockets around all over this room. And we head down to the window at the end there and have a look out there, and we see the avocado tree. Now we're going to just duck back out and pop our head into that other room, which is also at the end of the house where the avocado tree is, and we're done for the ground floor.
I've moved a little bit further out onto the patio, putting my life in danger a little bit here, just so that you guys can get a better idea of the sort of natural beauty that surrounds this property. As I said, the back of the house abuts straight onto the Winter Creek, and there's absolutely no shortage of nature, old growth trees, bird life, and all sorts of wildlife here. So we've just wandered down to the far end of the house, which is opposite the main entry area, up that end of the house. We're standing on a piece of land, which is a quite nice little section of land next to the house. At the moment, it has this beautiful old avocado tree, which you might not be able to see on the video, but it's coming through with lots and lots of avocados right now. Behind us over there is the road, the access road into the property. And this area of land could actually be used for a whole bunch of different things. You could use it for gardens, or maybe you decide to put another kind of building, or even a garage for the cars. Yeah, it would be up to the new owner as to decide how best to use this piece of land and look after this beautiful old avocado tree. So we thought we'd give you guys another angle of how the main entrance area to the house looks, and the fact that there's this big space out front here. As I said, with respect to the other end of the house, where there's a section of land down there that could be used for another building or gardens or parking or something like that. Again, this space here probably has the capacity for about 4, maybe 5 cars. So for somebody who was looking to finish this project as an Airbnb, as a money-making venture, there's plenty of parking here for your guests. So just in conclusion, I wanted to give you guys some idea of how I visualize the possibilities for this property. Number one is it can be just an incredible house with an enormous amount of living space. Remember, there's 400 square meters over 3 levels of building here. Number two is it could be some kind of investment or running it as a business. So for Airbnb, for example, it would be up to the new owner how many rooms they decided to put in here, but that would be a really good business for somebody to run here. Thirdly, you could live in half the house, the top half, and potentially rent the ground space either for renters, someone renting for mid to long term, or alternatively, as they do often here in Ecuador, they open up the ground space for some kind of business. That's certainly a possibility as well. So many possibilities with this project. So stretching into the distance behind me is the road that comes up from the San Pedro township, which is situated on the main highway. So we're about, I guess, 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers from that township here. One of the good things about this property is that it's actually past the main Y junction, which is where most people coming on the weekends go down to the river or so on to enjoy themselves like that. So there's not anywhere near as much traffic coming up to this end of Sacapo. So it's quite private in that respect, and not many cars up here. The other thing I should say is that this road is I've been coming in and out of here now for 15 years, and apart from an occasional slip, which gets cleared pretty quickly, this road is always accessible and is always maintained in pretty good condition, actually, by the local authorities. One other important thing to note is that if you are going to be using the home for some kind of business on the ground level, it's actually important and very useful that it abuts the main access road for Sacapo, so that you've got the people that can pass by, grab whatever it is that they need and move on. Hey guys, that's the end of this video. Just a reminder to everyone that be sure and click on the link in the description. That's the link to the actual property listing on our website. The listing always has more detailed information regarding property specifications, services, some fantastic pictures, so on and so forth. So click on that link if you want more information about the property, and also if you could just help us out by giving this video a like and subscribing, that would really help out the channel. Thanks very much.